Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand. Manchester United 3, Nottingham Forest 0, and Manchester United will be going to Wembley on February the 26th, possibly to play Newcastle. There'll be no way back for Forest, and there shouldn't be, because Manchester United got the job done in the most difficult leg of the tie, winning at the City Ground. Do your player ratings, links in the video description. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. But what really impressed me, and I want to get this out from the very start, is that we've had a couple of disappointing results. Crystal Palace away, which was quite similar to this game in many ways. I mean, I think Forest could get a result against Palace. So, you know, Forest aren't rubbish. And obviously the Arsenal result. 2 late goals in the last 2 games have really hurt us. But today, it was never a chance. And I think that what was really impressive is that we knew in the first half we had to win the game. You've got to win the game in the first half because the last 2 games we fell away in the second half. So we're 2-0 up at half time and you think, you know what, we've done it. We've put ourselves in a position to take something back to Old Trafford and put ourselves in the final. And what was very impressive in the second half was that we didn't fall away. The fatigue didn't come in. Even though there was a few changes, we didn't actually... In fact, we played better in the second half. We were more physical, which shows to me that Ten Hag knew full well what the risks were in this game. He knew the second half we were potentially going to be vulnerable and somehow got something out of those players to actually go up a gear in the second half. We had around 70% possession in the first half and we had around 70% possession in the second half. And actually... Weghorst had 3 good chances in the second half. He had the chance that got blocked and they had a cross from Eriksen and then a cross from Pellistri. I'm not saying he should have scored those goals, but that's the best half we've had with Weghorst in the team because we actually created chances for him. So really pleased with that. David, welcome to the Members Club. John, welcome to the Members Club. And Sonam as well. And also John Pebbles, appreciate that. Thanks for joining. So look, that was the most promising half of football we've had with Wout Weghorst in the team. Even though he scored in the first half, we finally started to deliver chances for him. And look, if he misses those chances, then it's time to give him a bit of stick. But I think Weghorst could well be man of the match because I think that in the first 3 games he's played for us, for 2.5 of the games he didn't have any chances. Got his first chance at the end of the first half tonight, took it really well, and then was getting chances in the second half. His work rate, his link-up play has been good, but we're finally now starting to see the benefits of putting crosses in. And I personally think the best chance of the game and the best chance on the eye, apart from the Anthony chance in the first half, I absolutely love the way Pellistri gets the ball and whips an early cross in. That's a striker's delight and a defender's nightmare, and we don't do it enough. We are a little bit slow, and we're quite a lot slow in putting crosses into the box. Rashford, Anthony, Bruno, we do sometimes have a look before we put the cross in, and the fullbacks are the same. I love the way Pellistri gets the ball, whips an early cross in. Their defenders can't set themselves, and Weghorst can just attack it. And it would have been a great goal if it had gone in. We're the famous Manchester United and we're going to Wembley, says Sakin. Yeah, I mean, look, people say don't jinx it, and football's a funny game, but we'd have to be... Something really bad would have to go wrong for them to beat us by 3 goals at Old Trafford next Wednesday. And even then... that would be extra time. It's nice to see we didn't have to bring on Varane to hold everyone's hand, says Leo J. Yeah, look, I think there's a lot to go through individually, but again, I can only praise the manager and say that, the rotations worked perfectly. I know we lost to Arsenal and I know we drew with Crystal Palace, but I still sit firmly on the page that since December the 27th, which funnily enough was Forest away, we've played a game every 3.5 days. And we've basically won every game apart from Palace and Arsenal, in which both games were late winners. The way that he has manoeuvred through this first month and it is a month now, of ridiculous game schedule has been remarkable. And he deserves praise for that. And maybe some people won't give it him, but he deserves praise for that because it's so hard to go midweek, weekend, in 3 different tournaments as well, and keep things fresh. And I was very lucky to have people like Bruno Fernandes who basically can play 90 minutes every 3.5 days. I mean, Bruno's just unbelievable. He never gets injured. I know he drops off in games. I was so pleased that he scored a goal, but Bruno's worth his weight in gold because of the amount of games he can play. And then the rotation at centre-back, we had Luke Shaw at left centre-back. Varane didn't play today. Lindelof comes in, full-back. Weghorst has come in and, Martial's got injured and we've been okay without it. I'm just really pleased with the way that Ten Hag's got these players. And as I said, I think the most impressive thing for me in that second half was just the fact that we didn't get tired. The fact that we continued to go and create chances. And look, Forest really, their chance at half-time was to come at us and create chances, and they couldn't do it, and the intent would have been there to do it. So, look, really, really good. I quickly saw that we should not send Pellistri out on loan, says Ginger. Improved performance by Anthony. He looked dangerous. Hopefully that he can build on that. Looks a confidence player, says Glenn. 10 days to Palace in the league with 2 cup games in between. Players will be rested because they come thick and fast after that, says Rory. 100%. And respect to Ten Hag, he took the worst United side in the Premier League and he has got us to a cup final in his first season in the Premier League and Man United, says Jack. Well, look, I think that's a very, very good observation. We're going to do the player ratings in a minute, so make sure you mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average, star for your man of the match. Great result tonight. Wembley were coming, says Dad. Pellistri is a player. Love being right, says Andy Cheetham. Look, the games are going to come thick and fast. We play Crystal Palace a week on, is it Saturday? Then we're going to play Leeds in the league twice on the midweek and on the weekend. And then we're going to play Barcelona. And then obviously that's 2 games against Barcelona. So these next 2 games are so important to refresh and reset. Now, Reading will take care of itself on Saturday night. I don't know what the easier game is. Reading 0-0 or 3-0 up against Forest. They're both games where you can comfortably say, I'm going to pick McFred, I'm going to pick Magaluf, and we'll be fine. Like, you can literally do that. And if you can't do that, why are they even being paid? Like, this is a I'm not saying, Ten Hag could pick a really strong team against Reading. He could pick a really strong team against Forest. You never know with Ten Hag. I don't know what he's going to do. But what I would say is, if you want to give your players a bit of a break and effectively a good week off, you really can put certain players on the bench or completely rest for those big games to come and just say, look, Maguire, go and captain the team and get us through against Reading and just see us home against Forest. Like, that's a great chance. That's a great opportunity to do that. And I don't know whether he will do it. I mean, there's a fine line between rest and losing sharpness. I mean, if you said to Varane, you didn't play tonight, you're not playing on Saturday, and you're not playing next week, he won't have played for 2 weeks. So, that could be a little bit too much. But the opportunity to look after your players and give them half an hour or half a game, it's invaluable. And we'll have to do that. John Pebbles has gifted a membership. Thank you very much. One word, Martinez, says Beep. Harry going to make us proud lifting the trophy at Wembley, says Ollie. And why did people let that bother them? I mean, look, Bruno tonight, can I just say Bruno tonight was getting a lot of stick because he was misplacing the ball and then shouting at others. And I saw people moaning about it. He's the captain of the team. Just because he misplaces a pass doesn't mean he can't shout at other people. He is the captain. His job is to play football well, which, maybe at times he doesn't. But his other job is to... He can't... If he misplaces a pass, it doesn't prevent him from being able to shout at someone else for misplacing a pass because that's the captaincy. He can shout... In his own head, he'll know he's misplaced a pass and he's got to demand more from himself. But as a captain, it doesn't mean you can't shout at somebody else. That's his job. So, look, Bruno should lift that trophy in the final. Maguire shouldn't be coming on with 5. If we win, if we get to the final and Maguire doesn't start, Maguire shouldn't come on with 5 minutes to go and lift that trophy. He should lift it with Bruno. We've seen that before. We saw it with Robson and Bruce. That's what should happen. I wouldn't get your knickers in a twist or your pants in thinking Maguire's going to lift that trophy on his own. There's no problem with him lifting it with Bruno as the club captain and the captain on the pitch. That's what should happen, and I'm pretty sure it will happen. And what's wrong with that? Club captain and the captain holding it up. Might be a bit of a problem if Maguire holds it up on his own when he's hardly played, but look, I wouldn't worry about that. The main thing is that United lift the trophy. Sakin says, I hope Emery was there for Elanga, not Pellistri. Can see Pellistri being a backup for Anthony, but Elanga definitely needs a loan and Villa would suit him, says Sakin. Depends whether Villa are playing one of us two soon. I don't know why Emery would have been there. Happy with 3-0. I said 4. See you in London. Marky says Tumbleweed. Looking forward to it, mate. Looking forward to it. Get your tickets if you remember. Hope Emery was there. We've done that one from Sakin as well. And Harry, what was that? There was another one here. Listen to Gary Neville give man of the match for Martinez. And it's nice to see a pundit giving a defender man of the match, really. Totally agree with that, says Ola. Let's get into the player ratings because I want to talk about individual performances, but I did just want to, dwell on the fact that I think the way that Ten Hag has managed this squad so far, and look, he's going to have to keep doing it. He's done it for a month, and I'm sat here saying I think it's absolutely amazing what Ten Hag has done in a month with so many games, rotating the team and still winning consistently. That's 1 month of 5. You know, I think he's done amazing over a month. I think it's so hard. He's still got another 4 months of doing this with very little break. It's so difficult. But he's doing a good job. Let's go to player ratings. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. Star for your man of the match. I mean, obviously, I'm going to give David De Gea a 10 and make him my man of the match. But you might have different thoughts on that one. But yeah, I'm going to give him a 10. I thought he was absolutely brilliant. Oh, 6.5? What are you joking about? I did that on purpose so the twats who clip stuff up can, you know, get their likes and the retweets. I'll give David De Gea probably a 6.5 today. Yeah, I'd agree with that. I mean, he did kick the ball out once. I mean, you know, it was a weird kick to Malacia and it was wrong. But this is what I mean about people clipping stuff up. I could clip Eriksen up tonight. I know he misplaced about 6 passes. I could clip them up and say we need a new midfielder. When actually Eriksen was one of the best players on the pitch. So, yes, David De Gea kicked the ball out of play once. But also, I thought in the second half, he sweeper keeped quite well. He made a couple of big saves. And I thought overall his game was pretty good. So I don't think it was an average performance. I'd give him a 6.5. I thought he did all right today, De Gea. Wan-Bissaka, by his standards, was probably a 6 for me. Maybe, yeah, 6.3 is about right. Somewhere between 6 and 6.5. First half, I think he was a bit out of the game. Looked a bit tired. Grew into the game second half. But, yeah, probably a 6. Yeah, 6. I'm happy with a 6 for that. Lindelof, 6.5. I think I don't understand the criticism of Lindelof. I thought he grew into the game. Now, considering that Lindelof hasn't played much recently, you've got to give him a bit of an allowance for being rusty. I thought second half he played really, really well. First half, he had a couple of problems with crosses getting stuck under his feet. But the biggest plus point for Lindelof for me is that I think Lindelof and Martinez perform better than Maguire and Martinez. And I think that where Lindelof deserves huge praise is that in a 3v2 situation, Martinez and Lindelof can do no wrong. In a training ground situation, 2 defenders against 3 attackers, it gets done a lot. You'll always get criticised as the attackers if you don't score. Because 3 against 2, you should score at any level. They didn't score. Because Lindelof and Martinez were very clever. They split. The man in the middle's got the ball. That's the worst case scenario. If the one on the right's got the ball and you've got 2, it's easier. But the man in the middle has got the ball, which means that he's got the ball and there's 2 passes there and there's only 2 of you. So if you go to him, you're in trouble. You've got to hold off, but you've also got to stop him from shooting. And then you've got to be wary that they're going to pass. It's a bloody nightmare to deal with. And Forest almost did it perfectly because they played a nice pass. He put it in the bottom corner. Keeper can do nothing. Defenders can do nothing. Apart from hold their line and play offside. And they held their line and they played offside and it was offside. And Lindelof deserves huge credit for that because he played offside and he was offside and the goal wasn't given and it didn't go 1-1 and it ended up 3-0. So, look, I've played the game. You've watched the game. You've played the game. Give him some credit. That's not easy to do that. And he got it right and they didn't get a goal because of it. If he'd just kept dropping and not played offside, they'd have scored. So, very, very good. And he deserves credit for that. All right, a couple of mistakes in the first half, but he stopped a goal with that offside trap. And in the second half, he played well. Martinez, probably give him a 7.5. Yeah, look, he didn't put a foot wrong in the whole game. Good to have him back. I think we all love Martinez. He came back from the World Cup. There was a conversation of Luke Shaw keeping him out of the team because he was doing so well. Maybe people had short memories about how good Martinez was before the World Cup. I think in the last couple of games, he's got his form back. You know, you go and win a World Cup, you go and have a few beers and a few other things, and you know, you probably lose your fitness a little bit. You lose your sharpness. And I think, again, this is the brilliance of Ten Hag. He finds a way to do without Martinez to get him, you know, and maybe Ten Hag was like, Martinez ain't quite at the races after that World Cup win. He ain't just walking back into my team. You know, I'm going to give him a bit of a kick up the arse. Oh, maybe you're not playing. Maybe Luke Shaw's going to have your place. Suddenly, Martinez is back in the team, focused again. You know, it's good management and it's great response by Martinez. And now we've got Martinez back at his best again. At least Lindelof is not a goddamn liability, says Arrow. Thank you very much. So, yeah, very good performance from Martinez. Malacia, probably a 6 like Wan-Bissaka for me. You can give him a 6.5. I think Malacia and Wan-Bissaka's performances were the same. I think they probably started off the game a bit ropey, but grew into the game. Second half, they were flawless. So, yeah, I'm happy with him. It's nice to be able to bring a player like Casemiro in and rest Luke Shaw. I know he's ill, but you can rest Luke Shaw in these sort of games as well. Casemiro, just a steady 7 again. You know, I mean, what I would say about this is that last season, when we were giving somebody a 7, they were man of the match. You know, we were giving people 4s and 5s. Casemiro is a steady 7, or sometimes, or a lot of the time, he's an 8 or a 9. Like, he doesn't drop average performances. Casemiro is really good again tonight, and yet no one's really talking about it because he just does it all the time. Such a fundamental player for us, Casemiro, and you know, not a lot I can say that I haven't said week after week after week after week. Christian Eriksen, 6.5 for me. Yeah, I agree with that. 6.6. The only thing I would say about Christian Eriksen is that defensively, we know he's not particularly strong. You can get at him. But the link between the midfield and the attack is what he's in the team for. And I guarantee if you sat Erik ten Hag down, he would wax lyrical about how important Eriksen is. And he is. He is the player that can really link the midfield with the attack, or drop into the defence and link the defence with the midfield. His passing ability and intelligence is so important. I think we need more than that. I do. I think the evolution of the midfield cannot be Casemiro, Eriksen, Bruno next year for a multitude of reasons. But we're not going to be able to solve that problem till the summer. And also, let's not forget, Eriksen in the last few weeks has nearly scored 3 worldies. 2 of them just went over the top corner, and today's hit the bar. That would have been a great goal as well. So I was happy with Eriksen. And nice to get him off for a bit of a break. And hopefully we can do that at the weekend as well. Leo says, we all love Martinez. Now we need another striker at Inter in the summer is needed, says Leo J. Thank you very much for that. Bruno, I'll probably give Bruno a 6.5 as well. Same as Eriksen. I think, look, there was a lot of misplaced passes. I thought as a captain he did well, and I was very pleased he got his goal. The thing about Bruno for me is that he's... And I hesitate purposely to think about the praise I want to give him and the words I want to use. The thing about Bruno is, he's invaluable. He's priceless. He's the captain, and this team has been on a great run. You can't underestimate that. It's not by accident that this team is motivated and playing well. The captain has a lot to do with that, and Bruno has to take praise for that. Secondly, he always wants to play. 3 games a week, 90 minutes, he always wants to play, and he's always been like that, even under Solskjaer. He never gets injured. He never, doesn't want to play a game, and he's never incapable of playing a game. And in the modern game, that is so priceless. It is invaluable because most modern players find that difficult to keep playing 90 minutes every 3.5 days. So, and in a situation where we really don't have an understudy, Eriksen can play there, but Eriksen's already playing in the team. Donny's out for the season. He's so important, Bruno. And sometimes I think he doesn't get the praise he deserves. We all know he can misplace a pass, definitely. But he's such an important player. And I think the captaincy is starting to open up people's eyes as well as to how important he is. Please do smash a like on the video, by the way, and make sure you subscribe. Now, Anthony's really interesting. I'd give him a 6.5 tonight. I really would. I think that he was on the verge of a really good performance, and I'm not willing to just give him an average 6. I really think Anthony was on the verge of like a 7 or a 7.5. That bit of play where he should have scored, he actually started that with Bruno Weghorst and ended up 1-on-1. If he scores that goal, we're saying what a good goal. It's his shot that leads to the Weghorst chance. I can see with Anthony there's progression. And as I said, it's not steep incline progression, but it's definitely going up. If you think he's there, he's definitely on his way up. And I'm going to encourage that and promote that. He's been a little bit more direct. He's been a little bit more ambitious. There's definitely progress there, and I want to encourage that. So I'd give him a 6.5. Rashford, I'll give him a 6.5. I really do think that Rashford is in the form of his life, and the goal was magnificent. And I'm tempted to give him a 7, but on the other hand, it probably wasn't his best overall game. He sort of dipped in and out. He went off quite early as well. I'm happy for people to give him a 7. He's our match winner. He's absolutely fantastic at the moment. And every time he goes down, you shit yourself thinking, oh my God, please no. But, you know, you probably have to give him a 7 actually because of the goal. And it's a bit unfair to give him what Anthony got. But I was thinking about the difference in Anthony and Rashford compared to Pellistri and Eriksen in the second half, who were whipping in them early crosses. I would like to see a little bit more of that. You lower Bruno because he was bad on career mode, says Thomas. No, I genuinely think that Bruno was a 6.5 today. Weghorst for me, I'm going to give him a 7.5, and I'm going to give him man of the match. And I'm going to tell you why. I know I'll be in the minority, but I'd already made my mind up before the end of the game, and I didn't know that Neville had given Martinez man of the match, which I think will influence a lot of you anyway. Martinez played really, really well today, but Martinez, we already know, is a Manchester United standard player. Wout Weghorst is a Burnley loanee who we don't really know much about. And I think he's worked his arse off for 2.5 games to get the goal and then the opportunities in the second half. And I think we finally started to see with Weghorst that if you put the ball in the box, he's a penalty box striker. And I think he should have done better with the Pellistri cross. I think he should have done better with the Eriksen cross. But I'm telling you now, if we can create him 2 or 3 good chances in a game, he'll score goals. And I want to encourage that. And also, one of the things that's really impressed me about Weghorst is, and somebody used it on the watch along, he's become a wall. Like, the ball goes into his feet and he'll drop a 5-yard pass back into the path of a Bruno or a Rashford or an Anthony. He's actually quite a nice foil to what's going on around him. There's no doubt that he works hard, and also I think if we can start to learn to use him, and I think it's taken us 2.5 games to start to learn what he's all about. If we can start to create those chances that we did in the second half, I think we're going to get a really, really, really useful player. And if we can get Martial back as well, I know it's not ideal, but I think he deserves a bit of praise tonight. I do. Garnacho probably 6 for me. Fred 6, and then Pellistri, probably tempted to give him a 6.5, but you probably got to give him a 6 if I'm honest. Alanga, nice little pass, nice little cameo, 6 for me. And then Ten Hag. I mean, look, what can I say about Erik Ten Hag? I think that it's got to be a 7.5. Yeah, I'm glad it's high because I thought it was unfairly low against Arsenal. You know, I think people reacting to a bad result. No, you're right, Mark. We saw something. His strength was amazing. I agree, says Leo J. Would still have picked Felix over Weghorst. Oh, yes, Sam. I'd have took Gakpo over Weghorst. I'd have took João Felix over Weghorst. There is no doubt that we've scraped the barrel with that signing, but that's not the player's fault. That's not Ten Hag's fault, and it's not our fault. We've got to back the player and hope that he can deliver. And I think tonight he got that goal that we desperately wanted him to get. You know, is he going to be Cavani? Is he going to be a Garlo? Is he going to be something in his own right? I don't know. Weghorst's path is to score some goals, get a long-term deal at United, and sit on our bench and be a backup. That's the path for Weghorst. I hope he achieves that because he offers something different. We'll still be buying a top-class striker in the summer anyway. So that's the path for him. And he came out with something in an interview yesterday saying, I know I'll be judged on goals. Well, if he's going to be judged on goals, let's judge him on how many goals he scores from good chances. Now, I think he should have scored 2 tonight. I do. I think he could have scored 2 tonight, but he got 1. It's a good start. Hi, Mark. I'm Korean, says Korean. Great. Welcome to the chat. We've seen it all. We've won it all, says Z6. So let's see. Oh, Ten Hag, very, very quickly. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic manager. That performance was complete today as well. It was a 90-minute performance. We've not had a 90-minute performance for a couple of weeks. 90-minute performance, no fatigue. Better in the second half than we were in the first half, which hasn't happened lately. Rotation, first leg, it's over. Going back to Old Trafford 3-0 up. We've killed the game in the first leg. You know, we've made this 2-leg semi-final thing look ridiculous. There's no need for it. And that's down to the manager and the players, of course, but the manager's been fantastic. Let's see who got your man of the match. No surprise. No alarms and no surprises. It is, of course, Martinez who gets man of the match. Make sure you smash on the like on the video for Martinez. He was fantastic tonight. I've got no issue with him getting it. Quite happy to say that Weghorst did get 27% of the vote in second place. So very happy to see that is the case as well. Certainly, I feel that Martinez was always going to get it as soon as Gary Neville mentioned it. But, you know, it's there's no problems with that. It's always nice as well, I think, when a defender does get man of the match, because they're, you know, they are often unsung heroes. Sorry. Yeah, you don't often get that. You don't often get that. I think Luke Shaw could have won it a few times as well. He's fantastic on the ball. I just think with Martinez, he's finally sort of coming back to where we want him to be. Daz, welcome to the Members Club. And I think after the World Cup, it was totally understandable that maybe he wasn't as sharp as he needed to be. But I think he certainly is now. Absolutely fantastic. The chart show is going to be very interesting this week, says DJ Johnny. I don't know when I'm going to put the chart show out, because we're playing on Saturday night against Reading, aren't we? But it's a great, in summary, it's a great situation for Manchester United to be in, and we shouldn't not enjoy it. Somebody was saying on the watch along that they're really happy that the title charge talk is over. Obviously, they weren't happy that we lost to Arsenal, but maybe that titles talk was a bit, you know, unnecessary. This season for us, winning a trophy and getting top four would be a major improvement and and it would be progress, and it would be a good season. There is an opportunity to do more than that. There is an opportunity to win the FA Cup. There is an opportunity to win the Europa League. I don't think you can get top four, win the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup and the Europa League, but it's a very exciting season for Manchester United, and we've put ourselves in a position where that platform is there. I do think you need to bring a player in or two in the next week, and hopefully United will do that. But the way the manager has handled it and the way the team has responded to it has been fantastic for Manchester United and the players as well. So I'm very, very happy. Do you think Lee Kang would be a good transfer for United? Says Korean. And Brandon Stark, welcome to the Members Club. Oh, talking about the Members Club, let me just say this. You might not be aware, but the United stand are doing 3 live shows in the international break in late March. Dublin, Manchester and London. You can get your tickets on Friday. They're out for public release on Friday. However, they are selling. If you're a member, you can get access to those tickets now. It's on the community tab. And if you are a member of the channel, you can get your tickets early. So get involved with that. And also, they will be available for Friday consumption as well. I'm just waiting to see what Ten Hag's going to say. Chris says, I'm just loving that I'm excited for every game again now. I've got zero fear of a bad result. We've got a really good run of games as well, Chris. That's the thing about United. We've been on a good run. Obviously, we've had the... I'll answer your question in a minute, James, about whether I think a player will come in. Obviously, we've had the Man City and the Arsenal games, which are 2 very difficult games, 2 of the most difficult games you can play. But really, apart from Barcelona in the Europa League, Liverpool away at the start of March at Anfield is probably our toughest domestic game, because we've got Reading, second leg of this, Crystal Palace at home, Leeds away, Leeds at home, Leicester at home, Carabao Cup final. So there's plenty of opportunity for us to keep winning. And I always feel if you can get Varane, Rashford, Martinez, Casemiro, Bruno, De Gea, Luke Shaw on the pitch, you're really going to win a lot of games anyway. Do you think we get anyone in the next 6 days, says Rory? I have a feeling, we are going to get somebody in. The problem is I can't tell you who. It's like trying to sell you who's going to buy Man United. Man United are going to get bought, I just don't know who. I think we will bring a player in the next few days. But Alanga, no rating, probably 7, get an assist in 5 minutes. I give him a 6, Maximus. I give him a 6. It was a good assist, but he's hardly on the pitch. I mean, if you want to give him a 7, give him a 9, give him a 6.5. I'll give him a 6. I give all the subs a 6. I thought Palestri played really well, but give him a 6. And we've still got players to come back. Martial, Shaw, and Delo. Yeah. 1 minute. Would you take Chiesa? Says Reckless Killjoy. We're not going to get him in January. I mean, off the top of my head, I don't know. A lot of people talk about Isco. Gravenberch would be great. I can't see it happening. You've obviously got to get creative, but I don't know. I really don't know. It's down to Manchester United, isn't it, at the end of the day? We are going to be live with our studio show. I don't know whether Ricky's on tonight. I think Kevin, everyone else is on, but they're not quite live yet, but I will push you over there. Thanks everyone for watching. Take care. I'm back on the morning show at 10 o'clock. Live studio show is going to hit now, where they'll be discussing the game. Thanks everyone for watching. Smash a like on the video. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you are a member and you want to be at the live shows, get your tickets while you can, because on Friday, I think they will be gone. Take care, everyone. Speak to you in a bit.